everyone, Tina here. Welcome to PhotoPlay's YouTube channel and welcome back to Tuesdays with Tina. My name is Tina Smith and I have some fun collage cards to share with you today. We're using a beautiful collection from PHOTOPLAY Paper. It's called Beautiful Junque. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous collection. It's like a vintage floral vibe. You have a sticker sheet that's just as fabulous. I love all of the premium pattern papers in here. There's 2 of each pattern, and even at 2 of each pattern I had trouble picking out which ones I want to use. This is a collection that's fabulous for card making, for junk journaling, and of course for scrapbooking. Sometimes I even, if there's pretty paper like this, sometimes, believe it or not, I'll use it for wrapping paper because it's just gorgeous. So we're going to be using the Beautiful Junque on our card today, and we're also going to be using some rub-ons that coordinate. These are gorgeous. Look how pretty these are. The rub-ons are 2 sheets, and I think they're 6 by 8 sheets. So they're very large sheets. 6 by 8 sheets, yes. And there is the popsicle stick, or I call it a popsicle stick, but it's just a wooden stick that helps burnish your rub-ons. Makes it handy. We'll be using this on our card today. And then I'm also going to be using some, we haven't used these in a while, some epoxy dies paper. I took it out of the package to show you what they look like. If you guys are new to epoxy dies paper, PhotoPlay and the Maker series have this piece here that coordinates with these. Now this is not new, this is not specific just to the Beautiful Junque collection. PhotoPlay Paper also has some epoxy dies paper from other collections, so this is kind of going to be universal. What this is, the epoxy shapes and die set. These epoxy shapes are clear. If you guys know what Glossy Accents does, or a glaze, a liquid glaze, that's what the epoxy is. It's clear. It's just dried for you. PhotoPlay has this, so you have an instant little piece of artwork for your card making. There's different shapes. You have square thought bubbles, you have regular thought bubbles, you have some honeycomb shapes, lots of 2 different styles of arrows. There's squares in here, and then they've also included some strips down here that you can use for scrapbooking or for greetings. You have Hey My Friend, which is really nice. You have See the Beauty at a Glance, so there's extra greetings in here too. This set here has coordinating dies that will cut out each one of these. So once you cut this out, you can lay over the epoxy shape over the existing, I have one open, let me show you, over the existing die cut that you cut out. And it makes like instant jewelry. Let me show you. You see how these go right over it? So you don't have to wait for them to dry. It's just instant, and they're beautiful. So PhotoPlay makes it easier. I have 2 different sets. Now these sets are different, as this is, I would call, a refill, and then this one is your main set. The main set has the coordinating dies that you can cut out each of the shapes in here. And again, this is something that's not just specific to everyday junk. This could be used for many other collections. So you might want to check it out at your favorite craft store, what collections use the epoxy dies paper. But this is universal. Okay. So we'll be using these on our card project today also. I'm going to put everything to the side, and we're going to pick out some pattern paper, and we're going to jump in and get started. Today I'm using 2 different pattern papers. Of course, these are 12 by 12 sheets. I have the letters and the flea market, and I just trimmed mine in half just to make it a little bit more manageable. But we're going to be using the front and the back of these. Both of these are just stunning floral backgrounds. Just gorgeous. We're also going to be using the opposite sides of these. I picked out one of the tags from this. Let me show you. In the upper right corner was this tag. I just trimmed it out. This is for our second card. And then we're also going to be using this vintage style lettered paper on our cards today. So front and back of both of these sheets. Because of the soft tone of these beautiful pattern papers, I thought we would bring in some vellum. I have the Nested Ornate die set for photoplay paper. I created 3 different sizes with this using pattern paper for the middle one. We're going to actually layer these together like so, okay? And then I trimmed down a background panel that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches for this card here. I thought we would use these sideways here on our card today. So we're going to start by layering all of these together. We're just going to tack these. Today I'm making a standard A2 size card base. These are side folding. Photoplay Paper sells these in a pack, I believe of 20, and they're a nice weight. They're about an 80-pound weight. I'm going to take my card front panel and glue it to the very front here. Once we have this attached, we are going to bring in some of our rub-on transfers. I'm going to use my scissors here, and I'm going to trim away this border. When I trim these away, I like to do the entire thing. So all I have to do is remove that protective covering. When you do that, you want to be careful not to touch the back because there's a light tackiness to this, and you could lift it up with your hands. I'm going to place this about 1/2 inch from the left of my card. I'm going to give it a good press, and then using that stick that's included, what I like to do is start at the top, give it a nice press, just give it a good press. For me, I kind of know when it's pressed really well when my plastic starts lifting up from the image below. It kind of creates a lighter look. It's hard to explain. Now what I like to do is carefully peel this up. I'm holding the bottom because if I need to go back, I can always just drop it and then add a little bit more of the transfer. And it looks like it transfers beautifully. Look how smooth and gorgeous this is. Now look, you'll notice there is a little bit overhanging. No worry, you could do 2 things. You could just rub it off with your stick, or you could just trim it off with your scissors. There's no right or wrong way to remove the excess that's overhanging. But isn't that gorgeous? So pretty. Now with this piece, I'm going to be using some florals. I'm going to add this beautiful Love These Moments floral right over the top of here. We're going to do some layering today. Again, give it a good press. And then it goes over vellum beautifully also. And then you can carefully lift it. And look how beautiful this is, right over vellum. I'm going to take some foam tape, place it behind here, and we're going to add this to the front of our card sideways. Anything overhanging, I'm going to trim off. Now, when I trim this off, I want to make sure I keep it straight because I'm actually going to use this piece on my next card. I'm going to directly adhere this to the front of my card. And we'll give that a good press. I have a little overhanging, so I'll just trim that off. Not too much. Okay, now we're going to bring in our sticker sheet. In our sticker sheet, we have the hello, and then we have some eucalyptus here. I'm going to add some eucalyptus. We're just going to tack it in this top right corner, and then I'm going to take this piece here. And let's add this over here. I'm going to cut out this one here, this thought bubble that says flea market, vintage flea market. I'm going to tack this down and I'm going to run this through my die cut machine and I will be right back. Once we have this die cut out, all we have to do is take our epoxy shape. There is a plastic protective coating keeping these nice and shiny. You take your epoxy shape and you just layer it right over the top. Give it a good press and then you have that shine and dimension good to go. And I'm going to put a foam squirt behind here and I'm going to add it to the front of my card here. I'm going to go ahead and tack this down. In our sticker sheet we have the same black and white stripes as the border, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to actually put it along the edge here. I'm going to tuck this about 1/4 inch from my card base. We'll trim this off, and then this is a great way to stretch your borders, and we'll add it over here. In our rub-on transfer sheet there's this butterfly here. Actually you get several butterflies. I'm going to take the pink one, I'm going to remove the backing, and then I'm going to add it to a piece of vellum. I'm going to press it down really good. It's easily removed, and then we have our, and there's our butterfly. I'm going to trim this out and just quickly fussy cut around it. I'm also going to add this butterfly rub-on transfer. And I'm going to place this one down here, and we're going to add some pearls in our background. I think this is going to match it beautifully. One more thing before we go. I took the number 7 sticker. I'm going to tuck this underneath here and have it slightly peeking out just for an added layer. We'll tack this down. I'm also going to take the little heart that's in our sticker sheet and we'll tack that next to our hello. So we have lots of layers, and that will finish off that card. For my next card, we have a card front panel with this pattern paper, so it's 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. I'm going to tape this down to the front of my card base here. Once we have this adhered, I have a slightly smaller piece of pattern paper. The reverse side has the postage mark on there. I'm going to tack this down right over the front. I'm going to use my hole punch a hole in this tag here, and then I'm going to thread some twine through the very top. Now I'm going to bring in our rub-on sheets, and we're going to add some beautiful florals here. I'm going to trim apart this piece here. The nice thing, it has a straight edge, so it's going to go perfect on my tag here. So I'm going to remove the backing. We will tack this down all the way to the left side. Give it a good press. And then you just slowly remove it. Now I'm also going to take this flower here. Actually, we're going to take the today and this flower here also with the rub-ons. So we have lots of layers on our tag. Now I'm going to bring in my dies paper, and we are going to die cut out 3 of our honeycomb pieces. I die cut out these 3 here. Okay, we'll put these to the side, and then I'll bring in my dies paper, and all we do is line these up, and then we can just cover these up. They line up beautifully. Just love how instant these are. So pretty. I want to take my tag next, put some foam tape behind here, and I'm going to adhere it to the front of my car a little bit towards the left because I wanted to add that piece from our first card. I'm also going to tie a bow real quickly. Once we have this tacked down to our card and our bow tied, this was the leftover piece from our first card. What I'm going to do is take this and tuck it underneath here. And we'll add like a little bracket to the side of our tag here. And then I did put foam tape behind each of our elements. And we're going to layer these. We'll layer these on here. And then in our sticker sheet, we're going to add this beautiful flower. In our sticker sheet, we have a greeting that says, "Thank you, friend." I did put foam tape behind here, and we're just going to add this. I'm also going to take one of those hearts in our sticker sheet and we'll add this at the top of our tag. And then I'm going to bring back some of my crystal drops and we're going to add a few pearls in our background. And that will finish off that card. So here's a look at both cards that we made today with the PHOTOPLAY Papers Beautiful Junque Collection. Some fun collage cards. We have a hello just because, and then we have a thank you card. Hope this gives you a few ideas using some fabulous pattern paper, some dice paper, some stickers, and also some rub-on transfers. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.